So I'm out in the garden and I'm just about to do an evening harvest. I've still got a few days till the market, but I got a local real estate agent that wants to do a bouquet subscription with me. So delivery day for that is tomorrow morning. Gotta get some blooms cut and figure out what I'm doing for her bouquet. And I also wanted to give you guys kind of an update while I'm harvesting on how that wedding went, because we did the florals for a wedding and oh my goodness, spoiler alert, like it went so well. Hey Putty, are you gonna be part of the video too? Are you coming to say hi? This is our barn cat, Putty. If you haven't met her yet, she is always out here. As soon as I come out, Putty comes out. You ready, girl? Let's do it. So some of the main things that I have blooming in the field right now are the cosmos. These guys are going crazy. Some of these really pretty doubles, kind of that deep red and burgundy shades, and then also these whites. I've got some dahlias too popping up that I want to show you guys, and they're such a pretty like burgundy. I've also got some of my first zinnias coming up. These are Benary's Giants, and they are like a wine purple color. So pretty. They're not quite ready yet. Still a little bit wobbly, but how pretty is that up against the green and all of this white status? So pretty, and I cannot wait to use these in market bouquets. It's going to make such a difference. This status also, these so need to be harvested. I need to do just like a massive chop on these, and they're great not only for fresh but dried. They're almost like they're like a little papery flower. So we need to work on this tonight. We're gonna leave these guys a few more days. We're gonna cut some cosmos and rudbeckia. These guys are like, they are poppin'. And ideally I'd catch them a little bit before they're open. So like a little bit before this stage, but these were not like this morning even. But it's just been so hot, things are just going so much faster. Oh, and can we just have a minute for these peas? They're just so prolific. They're an Oregon sugar snap pea from Johnny's Seeds, and this is my second succession. The first one is like right over here, even crazier, and they're still producing just so many. This is what I eat while I'm out here. Sorry, I'm gonna talk with my mouth full. I also posted on the community tab that I'm doing a Q&A at the end of this video. So a little bit further in, maybe midway through, if we've got some questions, I'll go ahead and answer those. I might actually finish out this video tomorrow, as it might get kind of dark while I'm arranging her bouquet. We'll see. It'll probably be a 2-day video. You guys are way down there on the ground, so this probably won't be a real flattering angle, but who needs to be flattered, right? You guys have seen me for years on YouTube. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into these cosmos. When I'm cutting these, I am going deep. Like, look how long this stem is. Big stem, but you want to have as much stem length as you can, like when you're doing bouquets like this. I still want it to be able to fit in my refrigerator, and I strip off the leaves. But the thing is, you want to encourage the plant to send out more and more, and you don't want to keep, like, you don't want to cut just the top off a plant, and then it's going to be this long stem, and then you want to always cut deep. So don't get faint of heart when you're clipping your flowers. And then if they've got, like this one here, it's got so many of these little buds, they likely won't hydrate real well. So it's almost better to just take them off, just leave like this one little bud if you think it's a cutie. Might be good for design or something like that. But then snip the rest. Ooh, this one's really good. It's almost like a baby dahlia. This is a really similar color to the ones that I have up in the field right now, that I'll show you guys in just a little bit. So I think that's pretty much, oh, one more cosmos. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as the wedding goes is how it went. So what I did for this this first wedding of the season, this is the first one I did. So this particular wedding, this is like a DIY event. So she actually already had her, her mom had purchased her bridal bouquet from like the local florist. But then the rest of the flowers she wanted to do herself, with just some like whimsical, local flowers that she was gonna put in bud vases. So I'm like, I'm your girl, I got the flowers, you got the vases, like let's do this. So she did, was it 200 stems? So 200 flowers and foliage, and I had them in little mason jars. And so it was really nice for delivery. I just put them in like a little metal tote, and then they brought that back to me at the farmer's market. When I got there though to deliver, which it was local, then I just included that in like the price of her flowers. But when I got there to deliver, I brought them in and she's like, you nailed it. Like, you so nailed my palette. Her colors were like corals and blues and yellows and oranges. And it was so nice to have somebody who was like just as excited as I am about the fact that these are locally grown, that like they're not just things that you could find anywhere, you know? So it was just like such a perfect match for us. And I was so happy that she was just as excited about the flowers as I was. And I would recommend, if you're doing something similar, I know a lot of you guys have messaged me about doing like markets or selling your flowers, or that you started growing this past year as well. And the biggest tip I would have for you, if you are doing like wedding work, make sure that you communicate really well. You're gonna spend some time, you know, up front talking to people and getting an idea of their palette, what they're going to expect, making sure that your pricing is in the right ballpark. But just make sure you're clear and have them send you some pictures and you know, kind of what they have in mind. And then it makes for such a smooth like harvest and delivery, and like it just went so well. I would love to do weddings, just providing the stems or actually, you know, arranging them. But this first one, it was such a confidence booster, and I was just so happy with how it went. I'm sure some of you guys are curious, like, how did I price the DIY wedding stems, or how would I price out, like, if I actually do the flowers? And kind of my philosophy right now, I've done some like online floral designing classes, and if you're looking at like what florists pay for wholesale flowers, usually you're looking at like $1 for foliage, or $3 for like a more, you know, like a more specialty stem, like $3 for a dahlia. If you kind of go in that ballpark, it's going to be kind of one or the other. So as a grower, if I was wholesaling out my stems, then that's how I need to think about it. I'd be selling them, you know, $1 each, or, you know, $2 or $3 each. That's what a florist is going to expect. The thing that's different when you're selling straight to the public, so like straight, you're basically doing retail, but you're selling flowers that you've grown. So it's kind of like a gray area there. It's like you're not selling to a wholesale house with like large volume, but at the same time, all I'm doing is growing the stems. So I find that it's good to fall kind of in between. And then depending on what they're making, you're gonna decide kind of their ratio. So like, you know, she was doing just bud vases, and so she was wanting a lot of just blooms, like a lot of flowers. So those would be more towards the $3 a piece range. And then, so let's say 80% of the flowers they wanted were going to be $3 flowers. Then make sure you reflect that in your price. And you kind of need to figure out in your area, you know, how close to wholesale do you want to be when you're just dealing with buckets of blooms. So I think, at least for me just starting out, I think being pretty close to that wholesale range was smart for me. Who knows, I might decide to up that once I get totally booked out right off the bat with all these weddings. Kind of how I'm thinking about it is every bride that I can help, you know, with an order to do her own flowers, I'm stopping that bride from going and supporting like a major chain grocery store that's going to be selling flowers that are from, you know, out of the country, shipped so far away, and, you know, who knows, like labor practices and such with those big corporations and stuff. So the more that I can help people financially to support local, I think that's a really great thing, and especially since it's my first year, I think that's a pretty good price point for me. As far as if I'm actually gonna do like arrangements, I haven't had to price one out yet, so I'm gonna kind of get to that when I see it. Like when I have to bid one, I'm gonna have to figure it out. But so far, like the other wedding that I have planned is also a DIY wedding, so it's just the blooms. Oh, but then we did decide to do a course. I'll tell you about that in a second. Have to show you these zinnias though. So here I am harvesting all these yellows, and don't these complement that just so well? These are little zinnias. I want to say these are the carmine pink. They almost look like a queen lime though. because they have like that little bit of lime in the middle. So pretty. I think these guys need a couple more days. This is kind of the wiggle test you do with your zinnias. If you shake it from down below and it's like flip-flopping everywhere, not ready. Like, give it some more time. This guy's getting close, maybe a day or two, and they'll be ready. I'm getting myself so distracted by the flowers. I think what we were talking about was this second wedding though. So not only did she want to buy blooms from me, and she actually found me just like through Google. Like, Google had recommended me to her, which was really awesome, Google. Thanks for doing that. Anyway, she wanted to buy blooms, but I noticed with a lot of people who want to do these like DIY weddings, they're not too sure of like how to do the like what products to use basically to put together a bouquet, like to wrap it, to make it secure. How do you get the ribbon on the bouquet like proper, like a florist would do, that's going to be like bulletproof? How do you do boutonnieres? Those are like complicated things. And with COVID, that has been like what I've been researching. That's what I've been all about, between like learning how to grow the flowers, prepping last year, and then learning how to like put, you know, bouquets together for weddings and all the pieces. So what I did is I decided to go ahead and throw on a course to like our floral design offering. So what she's gonna do the week before her actual wedding is we're gonna do a class for her basically wedding team, and there's actually 6 of them. It's gonna be not this Friday but next Friday, and I'm gonna bring some blooms. So I'm gonna bring what's fresh now, what's in her palette, and then we're gonna do a little class. So I'm gonna teach them the mechanics of like boutonnieres. I'll bring supplies, so like wiring supplies. I'll bring tape, like the floral tape that you use to keep everything together. I'm gonna bring her some choices of ribbon. She can pick what they're gonna use for the actual day. I'm also bringing some cupcakes because we'll be baking them fresh for the market, and I thought like I'll bring like a little bottle of rosé and some cupcakes, and wouldn't that be fun? Like, just a great excuse to get your wedding team together. And I think ultimately that is exactly what I want to do with flowers. I want to educate on local flowers, that they're here, that they're doable, and more specifically for big events like weddings. Just because you want something to be beautiful and you want something to be done right and like well done for your wedding, it doesn't mean that you have to go to a big box place and it's either roses or lilies, you know what I mean? I wish I had known that before, like when I was getting married. I wish I kind of knew options. So we're gonna do that course next Friday, and then the following Friday after that, I'll actually be delivering her flowers, and I think it's just gonna make it so much smoother for her team and for her, like, to feel confident with what she's doing. Okay, some more flowers we just walked up on that I gotta show you. So these are a chocolate Queen Anne's lace. It's called a Me. I think, is a Me different than Queen Anne's lace? They look so similar. I noticed that these guys kind of close up a little bit as soon as it starts to get dark, but I don't know if they'll open up fully again. So I'm gonna try harvesting these in the morning when they're a little bit flatter. Maybe I'll Google it too. But they're so pretty, and they add just like this little bit of whimsy. You can kind of have them like sticking up above the bouquets, and they're really, really pretty. So funny, I got a text. It was from her, like literally as I'm talking about her, she just texted me. Okay, she's asking about the time of the class. She just wants to change it back a half an hour for one of the girls. Totally fine. So yeah, I love the weddings. I'm excited to like later on do some actual like the full deal, do bouquets, boutonnieres, all of it. The hard part though is that work-life balance, because if you're doing a wedding, you're gonna have to be like all in. Like, you gotta have all the bridesmaids bouquets. What if there's like seven bridesmaids, and then you have the bride, and then what about floral installments? Like, what if you have a, you know, like this big arch and you gotta like do all these flowers, and it's more than I can provide here. So I'd have to go to like the wholesale market. I have to like source from other growers, ideally locally, which I have met a few, which is really cool. This whole flower farming community is very fun online, and then also locally too. You'd be surprised. Okay, let me set you guys down. I'll keep harvesting. Right now where I'm at with harvesting is basically I come out here pretty much every evening, and then I'll go ahead and clip a few things. I check on the garden. I see, do we have, you know, like a giant infestation, like of grasshoppers or something, or like caterpillars. Are caterpillars taking over my lemon balm like they were the other night? And then I'm able to go through, take a few caterpillars to the chickens, save some of my plants, or something the other day, my mountain mint. It's like a really great filler for cut flowers. And I noticed as I was like stripping all these leaves off, you can totally use leaves, like these mountain mint leaves, to make tea, or I don't know, people eat it or use it in like potpourri and things like that. And I was thinking, I'm just wasting all this beautiful, like organically grown tea leaves. And so I was like, I need to reach out to the lady here locally that makes tea. So I did. She wants me to bring some to the next market. But by coming out here every day and just kind of like seeing what's going on, I feel like I'm really keeping in touch with like what's growing and what could people use. Like, what can this land provide that can help not just me? Like in former years, I've just been kind of thinking of, I plant once and then I harvest, you know, as the vegetables come, or I try to leave the flowers and the plants. Instead, I'm really thinking more about like harvest at everything's peak, harvest when these rudbeckia are just starting to open, when no buggies have munched on them, when they're perfect, and let's keep it like as low of waste as possible. Oh, awesome. I just saw this over my shoulder. See this bumblebee here? He's totally getting into all of these tomatoes. And I'm pretty sure what brought him in was all of these bright marigolds. I've got like this landing strip for the bees of marigolds to like bring their attention to all of these beautiful tomatoes. And I think it's really working. I think we're gonna get a really great harvest. I also did some nasturtium, you can see kind of over there on the other side of the fence. And they're just gonna climb up and be like ready to attract the bees. I just finished up on those and I just wanna like squeal because my love in a mist is finally blooming, and I've been coming out here every single day and checking on these to see when they were gonna go. I planted these last like winter, basically. It's kind of around these little daisies. Do you see this here? Isn't that the most unique flower like you've ever seen? It's so cool, and they have the neatest pods as well. So we've got like these white ones, some more white ones over here. While I was waiting, they just look like this. Ooh, the sprinklers are getting me now. They look like this, and then when they open up, isn't that just beautiful? So we've got the white ones, and then look at this guy. It's like the most pretty, like baby boy blue. You guys like how I have one thumbnail painted too? So cool. Oh, Putty. She's getting hit by the sprinkler. Did you get hit, girl? Poor thing. I'm gonna harvest some of these, and I think these would be awesome for that real estate agent. Like, I think these would be so pretty, like kind of creeping out. Probably something she's never seen before. It almost looks like so perfect for bridal, but their colors are like, they have like a blue focal wall, and I know blue is in there. So I don't have very many of those though. I literally only see one blue one. Darn, that would be so perfect. And then for my bride for next week, for her class, that would be great. These would be nice. These are some of my sweet peas. They smell amazing. Just kind of reaching out of her vase. I think the sweet peas, maybe we'll go with these guys. Look how pretty these like roughly. Let me give them a sniff test. Oh my goodness. And where they're gonna be putting these is right where they do like consulting. They have like a long table, and then they have the blue focal wall, and then they have all the chairs. So like where they're talking to people about, you know, real estate stuff. These are gonna be perfect, and then it'll smell so nice. I think that will definitely keep like a long-term subscription going. If you can give stuff that smells good, looks good, lasts the full week, and then I can pair those with snapdragons. These guys will look really nice with them. Actually, this guy's like at peak. Definitely gonna use that. Well, I think I'm just gonna finish up harvesting. I'll meet you guys back at the table. We'll put together a bouquet, and we'll see if some people asked anything on the community tab. I just submitted that question. We'll see if you guys had any questions for me. All right, so I've got all of the blooms that we're gonna use for this bouquet. I need to let these guys sit here in the water and hydrate, just sitting, doing nothing before I start messing with them and arranging. While I wait though, I do wanna do the Q&A. I wanna show you the dahlia field, and I wanna show you guys the sponsor of today's video, which is Slim Chillers. These are the coolest thing. Like, the coolest adult thing that you have seen in a while. If you've got a Sam's Club near you, you may have seen these guys in the store. You can also get them online and stuff too. But they're called Slim Chillers is the brand, and these are slim shooters. I am like hooked. My husband and I are like hooked on these. They come in so many flavors, and they're like a sweet alcoholic shot, but they come in all these flavors. You just put the tub like in your freezer, and you can just pop one out when you want it, like to relax in the evening, pool parties, barbecues, like everybody can pick their own flavor. And they're like such a good, like you don't even need cups or shot glasses or anything, and they're only 20 calories. So my favorite flavor of the little shooters is the coconut lime, but then there's also just grape, raspberry lemonade, granny apple, black and blue. That's also a toss-up for my favorite. And then they have the cream ones, which are 60 calories. There's 5 flavors of these, 4 flavors of the cream ones, like strawberry shortcake. Anyways, I think you guys understand that I'm excited about them. And they're just so nice, like to just grab out of the freezer. It's cool, and especially since it's been so hot. And like, you know what it's like when you get all your kids down at the end of the day, like they're in bed, you've worked really hard during the day, and like having a little treat at the end of the night, just chill with your husband. It's just like the best thing. So I've got all my stems in the water here. I think I'm gonna take you guys, I'm gonna go grab one out of the freezer. This is my pack that's not in the freezer. But I'm gonna go grab one out of the freezer. I'll do one of the cream shots so you can see what they look like. I'm thinking the peaches and cream. And then I wanna show you the dahlias, and we'll do our Q&A. I hope we've got some questions, because I just asked at the start of the video, but you guys are usually pretty quick. One thing that I haven't talked about, like I don't think at all really, on our channel is that my husband and I love horses. We've been wanting to get horses, and especially since now we actually have like property that we can have them, we've been trying to work it out, trying to figure it out, and we finally have made a connection, and we are going to be getting them. So it's like only a little bit of time left until we get these guys, and I'm so excited to show them, like tell you guys about them and show them to you. And maybe let's just make that kind of like our first little topic once we get set down here after the dahlias. By the way, these are the gladiolas, and I noticed today we've got our first spikes starting. This one here, this one here. They're starting to pop up. Exciting. And then here are my first dahlias. I've already taken 2 blooms, like I've brought 2 blooms inside, but other than that, these are the first ones, and they were from these this plant. Oh my goodness, like they just make me so happy. So much work, so much like planning and work has gone into this dahlia field, and like I couldn't be happier with like finally I'm getting to see flowers. Like they're coming on, they're the real deal, and look how pretty and perfect. Like I'm just so excited that it's turning out, you know. It is a little bit slower than I had hoped. I'm trying to fertilize these guys. I'm using more Bloom. It's like a fish fertilizer I know a lot of people use for them. But like you can see this whole row going down dahlias, and then above me we've just got dahlias up, and then I'm kind of in the dahlia patch, so dahlias, 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 like all the way over there. These have not yet put up blooms, but we've got these guys here are the first variety, just sending them up. I think what makes them so special too is just that these are like such a versatile color. You like with this deep burgundy red, you can pair this with orange, you could put it with yellow, pinks, whites, ivory, like really anything can go with this. You can even do like some contrast with this and then like a blue, like a light blue or a deep blue. There's just so many options with it. Oh, my sprinkler's turning on. Oh no, this one's not gonna hit here. I thought we were gonna get hit. Okay, let's go ahead and check out some of your questions before the other sprinkler turns on. I think it's pretty cool that we just do this Q&A like at sundown in the dahlia patch, because why not? Have a little break. Okay, so it looks like, let's refresh this. We've already got 3 comments. Awesome. Oh, and one of them's kind of long. Perfect. Oh, and I was gonna show you guys, I just opened it. I got excited. So this is one of the slim shooters, but this is the cream one. It's the peaches and cream. Okay, so Katie Besser says, tips on how to declutter with kids. I also love your cleaning videos. is there already one that's like a weekly cleaning routine, so I'll have to respond back with that one. I'll link my cleaning routine playlist down below if you guys want to check it out. She says, I want to start one, but I'm overwhelmed with where to start. I just end up doing everything on one day and I'm so drained that day. I get it. Like, it is so hard to try and make a cleaning routine because every week is different. I will say though, like the times that I'm able to best keep up with a cleaning routine is having like one main goal for a certain day of the week. So like, let's say like for me, I try to have the whole kitchen like spotless clean on Thursdays. Like Thursday night, I know I need the whole kitchen clean. Mainly that's because I know that I'm gonna be prepping for the farmer's market. Like on Friday, that's when I do all my baking and stuff. And I just wanna make sure that it's all done. And my husband does the sourdough bread. So for me and my schedule, it makes sense to have everything cleaned by, you know, Thursday night. So I make sure I allot some time on Thursday to make sure it's done. And if I need to just put a few things like, you know, at the end of the night, load the dishwasher and run it, it's good to go. So I think if you can have some certain days of the week that you do like the bigger clean, and like then also, you know, at night, like your micro routine. So in the morning, I always unload the dishwasher, and at night we start it. But as far as those big cleans, because there's always gonna be them, like deep cleaning the bathroom, if you just have those kind of things on set days of the week that make sense for your routine, whether you work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so then set Tuesday is like your cleaning day, and set timers. Honestly, if you hate cleaning the bathrooms, say, okay, you got 20 minutes, you're gonna clean the bathroom, get on your rubber gloves and like do it. Then you're gonna be willing to do it because it's only 20 minutes and you're like, you know, you're not in your fancy clothes, you were prepared for this and you can get it in and get it done. And you've set aside time for it. You really do have to buy out the time to have a clean house. It sucks, but you do. Okay, she said tips on how to declutter with kids. I think the best thing with decluttering with kids is to be realistic. I don't know if she means to have the kids decluttering alongside you, or if she just means how do you declutter all the stuff. It is tough to have the kids declutter with you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think that's what she means though. I think she just means how do we declutter the kids' stuff. If you have a baby and it's baby stuff, I would say just pack it up if you're planning on having more. And if you're not planning on having more, don't keep like your car seat and your high chair and all that stuff if you don't plan on having more. Pass it along to somebody who could use that high chair or whatever. But if you are planning on having more, you do not need to put it in the back of your closet. Put it in your attic or put it in your garage or somewhere that it's, you know, it takes 9 months anyway to grow a baby. So you don't need it in the back of your closet for 9 months. Like, that is valuable real estate. So if you are going to absolutely use those things again, also if it's stained, don't keep it. You're not going to use it. Just be realistic. And then decluttering toys, that's a hard thing. I think you kind of have to just go through when the kids aren't around and like get it done. You know, maybe if you're planning on doing it, like maybe daddy's gonna take the kids out for an hour or something and you're gonna like be prepared to do it. Make sure that you do kind of feel it out for like a week or so before and ask them like, oh, do you want to play with this? And they're like, no. You know that's a good one to declutter. Or if it's like a set, maybe they just don't play with it because all the pieces aren't with it. If you can do like a big declutter, dump the whole toy bin out, throw the trash away, throw things away that are broken, that aren't gonna be fixed, and just be realistic. Like, am I just holding on to the big mega blocks because I thought they were cool and now my kid's 10 and like they're really onto Legos, you know? But you're holding on to them because they were expensive. Like, just let them go. Like, you're gonna thank me later. Ooh, and how about a tip for decluttering your kids? Actually, I did a kids decluttering video not too long ago. I will link that one up in the cards. As far as decluttering your kids' clothes, I think it's best to do it seasonally if you can. Like right now, we're in summer, it's hot. It's the best time to go through anything that's winter, get it out of there. Do not keep that kind of stuff in your kids' drawers. Pack it away, put it in a bin. Winter clothes, crack it open as the weather starts getting cold, but no sense in having that kind of stuff sifting through and getting unfolded, having to be refolded, you know, every week with laundry. Ashley Miller says, are you planning to do any videos on homeschooling? Oh, Ashley, I had the best of intentions on videos for homeschooling. It is so hard. It is so hard. Not only homeschooling, it's been very, very difficult. With my oldest, he definitely has some obstacles with attention and focusing. And I think because he was in public school, I didn't fully realize the obstacles that he had. And we're really trying to work on that and helping him, giving him the one-on-one. But I feel like we have such a unique situation with the 4 kids and all the different levels, and then his attention, you know, issues. And so it is trying to film a video on it, and it's a struggle, girl. I don't think I'm going to be filming videos on it. We have such a unique like approach to with, you know, like one day we're doing math and another day we're doing spelling, and we fit it into the day. We're doing science, like when we're out here and we're looking at the bugs and then we're researching. Honestly though, I do think, I know for sure, at least with one of my kiddos, that they are going to be going back to public school. There's a really great school here locally. It's really small. They haven't even had any issues or incidents from the pandemic. So I think it's going to be a really good fit, and I feel like our risk factors are pretty low. My husband and I are both vaccinated too, so I think that makes me feel a little bit better about sending them to school. Just kind of, you know, where we're at with that. As far as the other kiddos, I don't know, but as far as videos, I don't have any planned. I had the best intentions to film, but we have such a unique situation. And she also, Ashley Miller also says, can you do a video on your new house build? I want to take you guys over there. I want to show you guys what it looks like right now. We've had, like, all winter we worked on plans. Then we worked on getting it through the city, so like getting it approved. And it got approved, and we're building now. Like, they just put in the foundation. We just painted on like the tar stuff. And then they brought a bunch of gravel today for part of the pour on the foundation. So let me actually take you guys over there and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, hi Putty. How are you? How are you, girl? This is so nice. I feel like I'm just out here with friends. Like, I know I'm just sitting here talking to a camera with my cat. Like a crazy quarantine cat lady and her flowers. But it's so nice to just, you know, feel like, and now that we have our comments section back, oh my goodness, I didn't even mention that. I should have mentioned it in the beginning, because I know so many of you guys, for like the past year, you are used to me not having comments. We have not been able to just talk. Please say hello in the comments if you're still watching. Just say hi. I would love to chat with you. If you have questions, if you had more questions, that I did this Q&A pretty quickly, but if you have more questions, please put those down below and I would love to respond back to you. I would love to talk to you guys in the comment section. We had them taken away for literally a year and I've missed you guys so much. The chickens missed you guys too, because they're all standing there at attention. And the bunny girls missed you too. Hi, June. Hi, June girl. Hi, baby. Oh, she wants a pet. Now you'll have to pardon the construction kid mess of the project. This is the foundation of our house in the gravel. The plumber is coming tomorrow. And then we've got somebody coming to backfill kind of where this wall is. And if you guys haven't heard any of the story of us moving, basically this was my grandparents' old house, this one here with the red roof, up in the mountains in Oregon. And we decided to sell our home, my husband and I, in the Portland area. We decided to sell our home and move up here. So we've been living in this little house here for the past, like, since last fall. And then this is the foundation for the addition we're doing. Eventually, my parents are gonna be up here in the main house. They still have all their stuff like in the upstairs. They have like a master bedroom up there. And then they come up on the weekends. But the eventual goal is when my mom retires, my parents will be in that side and we'll be in this side. Basically, it'll all be one house. But we're actually gonna have enough bedrooms for each of the kids. All 4 kids will have their own room. And my husband and I will have obviously our own room. Right now, we're basically all in one room, all 6 of us. So it's been a sacrifice, but I feel like it's the best thing that we could have done. Like bringing our kids here, you know, we've got like 3.5 acres here. So they've got some land. We're in the forest. Like they're able to run and play. And then, you know, a little sacrifice now, I think it's really gonna pay off and be something awesome. This bottom area here is where our garage is gonna be. So basically, like when you pull in, there's gonna be a 2-car garage on this side and a 1-car on that side, just like our old house. So you can pull in, and then we'll have like a little mud room over here. And there'll be a couple kids' bedrooms, 3 kids' bedrooms down here, and like a small family room. Mid-level is gonna be kitchen, family room, 1 kid bedroom, and a laundry room. And then the upper, basically because our snow load is so crazy here, we decided to put like the master just on top, kind of like underneath the roof basically. So it's like a 3rd level, but kind of not really, like most of it's not finished. But that's where we're at right now. It's construction here every day. And you'll notice, you know, from last year I was making a lot of clean with me videos, and I was doing a lot more videos, like 2 a week, I think. Now I'm a little bit more sparse with the videos, and it's mainly because we're doing a lot of this ourselves. So like this gravel here, tomorrow I will be on the tractor putting gravel in there. Like between my husband and I, we will be doing this work. Or 2 days ago we were on the back side of this wall, and like down here we were putting on tar on the concrete to seal it from the dirt around. Or this pipe here, we just ran that yesterday. So a lot of this, we're doing like sweat equity, we're getting it done, and we're making like our forever home. Yeah, it looks a little chaotic, doesn't it? But it's gonna be worth it. A little sacrifice now, it's gonna pay off. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in, make sure the kids are still doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is watching the second half of their movie that they've been trying to watch the past few days. And then I'm gonna come back out and we're gonna make up that bouquet, and you guys will see how it turns out. Oh, it's starting to get dark, I better hurry. So I grabbed a few more things from the refrigerator. I just realized, like, I just picked these zinnias yesterday, my first zinnias, and I think these are really going to add to like just the size and like of the focal flowers of the arrangement. I think that, you know, having something that kind of has like a fun colorful impact is going to be nice for her space. And I know she chose at the market like a multicolored kind of thing. Even though, like, sometimes you think like, oh, it's for a business, so they're going to want something a little more neutral. It's not always the case. Same thing with bridal. You might think that people are going to want, you know, like whites and light pinks, but the bride that I had, she had like a full color palette and lots of yellow and orange. So you really can't like stereotype people with flowers or anything really. So I've got my sweet peas. This is going to be my high element. And then I've also got some lemon balm. I thought this would be, it was kind of an experiment last night. I wanted to see how this would hold up because I haven't harvested any, but this looks great and it smells great. It smells like nice lemon, like something that we use for tea. There was a little stinker caterpillar that got into my lemon balm though. So I'm just gonna pinch off a few of these leaves that have just like one tiny little bite here and there. But good as new, lots of good leaves. Give you guys just a little close up. So this is lemon balm. You know what, this might actually be good for that lady that does the tea. She would probably use this. Like these bottom leaves that I just strip all of them off, I'm sure she would use these. Is that any better? Okay, so I tried to move you guys because it seems like a little, I don't know, lighting. So we've got something high, something kind of mid-level, and then I'll do something on this side that's going to be kind of a shorty, but it's greenery. So let's just go with this little guy here. Normally I do more of the same, but we just didn't have that today. We've got a little sedum. And on the short end, you want to kind of make this weighted a little heavier. So like your light, like your tallest one is going to be light and airy and kind of reaching. Your shortest one, picture it as being like the fat, heavy one that's like, it's just like thicker, you know? It just sinks a little lower. So that's kind of how I do that. And the mid-level is just kind of going to be built up about, you know, middle width, middle height. Now we're going to add in a little bit of filler flowers. So I've got this status. Did I show you guys this? I don't think I showed you clipping any of it. I'm going to add this here, just right in the front, in the heavy end. And then I want to add some of this really nice yarrow. I think actually this one here I can cut this into two so it's not quite as heavy. You guys will have to let me know down below if you like to see this kind of like real-time flower arranging. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to put together bouquets. Well, not as much time as when I'm talking while I'm doing it, but it does take a little bit of time, and you'll have to let me know if it's fun to kind of hear the process as it goes. I'm also going to take a little bit of the yarrow and put it behind on this kind of mid-level. So we have kind of white is kind of how I'm setting up the structure here. Let's go in. Something else that I kind of wanted to do heavy in this one is the Rudbeckia. And when I say heavy, I just mean it's kind of like a focal thing. Like if the bouquet is going to be really full of these guys. I like this a lot. You might notice I'm not turning the bouquet as I'm making it. It's because this is going up against a wall, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to do this snapdragon towards the back here. We're going to keep reaching up and giving that height. Oh, it looks so great right by this sweet pea. I think we might, oh, there's a little aphid. Get out of there. We might actually pull this sweet pea up just a little bit more, and then I'll slide this in here. Oh yeah, just a little deeper down. And the throat of the sweet pea has like this yellow in it, so like it fits so nicely. We are definitely using another one of those. So we've got one up high, got one down low. I like this sweet pea here, kind of reaching. I'm gonna have to do some zhuzhing once I get there, so I'm not too worried about this being like, you know, it's not like a bridal bouquet that it's gonna be exactly where I put it. So I'm gonna be kind of putting it in the vase on site. I know they've already got one they like. How do we feel about the burgundy? Yeah? Usually when I'm putting together my market bouquets, I'll kind of count, like I'm counting how many stems that I'm grabbing, and I kind of have like a formula. So like I'll grab 3 snapdragons, and I'll grab 2 cosmos, and I'll, let's say for that week, 5 Rudbeckia. Like I'm kind of going off of a formula so that everybody's bouquets basically are equal. If I'm doing a $20 bouquet, you know, I want to do minimum 10 stems is kind of my goal. And then I always throw in like some extras, just depending on like what looks good and, you know, to kind of like accomplish the feel that I want it to have. But I wasn't really keeping track because I am talking to you guys. Let's see, we started out with 1, 2, 3 of the foliage, 4, 5, 6 with the snapdragons, 7, 8 with the cosmos, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with the Rudbeckia, 14, 15, 16. We're getting a lot of stems, but I really do, I want to make this like nice and full. This is her first one that I've designed for her, so I really want to make it count. I think this is totally at my $20 like market bouquet price point. I don't think I mentioned it, but this bouquet is going to be a $25 weekly delivery. So I kind of have to think of this as like $5 delivery and like, you know, arranging it, refreshing the vase, and then $20 for the arrangement. But this is where I want to throw in a few extra things because I really did want to put this sweet pea in because like it smells so lovely, and right at the front here, like that's where you're going to like reach in and smell. And I love when I have bouquets at the market, I love to say, you've got to smell this flower. And I don't care if they're buying it or not. I just want them to know I care that the flowers smell good and look good. And I want you to experience it today. Since you're here, I'm glad you're here. Smell the flower. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea sweet peas could smell like that. Or I had no idea stock, like I didn't even know it was a thing. And it just makes my day when people get to kind of like experience that. So the fact that she's, you know, somebody who's already committing to 4 weeks with me, and I'd love to keep her for more. I think it's important that I put some stuff in there that's going to smell nice and that I can point out when I deliver it. Okay, one more, and I promise I'm done. Okay, just one up here, give us a little extra height. Gorgeous. What do you guys think? Let's give it a quick cut. Where's my rubber band? I think the cat took off with my rubber band. Oh no! Okay, I have to grab one. Be right back. We're losing light rapidly, and I just went ahead and I put a rubber band around it. Let me turn the camera around so you guys can really see. There we go. So it's a little bit smushed because I've got the rubber band on it, but when I get there, you know, I'll be able to kind of sprawl things out a little bit in her vase. It's almost like a little miniature like bridal, which I think is kind of fun. Lots of bright like poppy colors too. I just love how it turned out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to know which of the flowers was your favorite. Did you like the color palette? Just say hi down below. I would love to chat with you guys. Give it a like if you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.